Hello and an early morning. Today we are driving our son back to college and then returning home. The trip is going to be about 300 miles round trip with a 39-minute stop at a charger in La Crosse. And the temperature it's 54 degrees in the garage. It's 39 degrees outside. There's a northwest wind of about 14 miles an hour. I am preconditioning the battery in the cabin. I'm at 100% charge. The guessometer says 334 miles. The charge rate at the destination charger, I think, is 240 kilowatts. We'll have more on that. Like I said, 39 minutes. So I'm out here early before he gets in the truck to get this done. So the next you'll see is the drive, and then we will catch you most likely at the charging station. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we have arrived, dropped our son off at school. Now, this is actually incorrect. I don't need to be here for 47 minutes because a better route planner thinks that this is only a 50 kilowatt charger, and I believe it's 240. I actually submitted that correction. So we are supposed to go from I have to double check. I think I need to go upwards to like 90. Yeah, we'll kind of see. I think I need to be here about a half hour. Wow, it wants me to go up to 92. So I may actually just go to 80. The wind is crazy today, so I think that's what's factoring into this. As I said earlier, we had kind of a crosswind and a tailwind on the way here, but it is still pretty windy at about 17 miles an hour from the northwest. So we're basically going to be facing it the whole way. So that's why it wants me to go to 92. Originally, I was going to go to about 80. So I think what I'll do is I'll go to 80 here, and then we'll stop at the Circle K in Rochester, and then we can make up the gap. So that should work just fine, but I'll get kicked off. This charger is not surprisingly plug-in charge with Ford's system, but there's no app. It's really easy. I just use Apple Pay with my Apple Watch. I plug the charger into the truck. I tap it with my watch. Extremely easy. This charger only costs like 38 cents a kilowatt hour, which is extremely low. I really like Circle K chargers because they're 43 cents a kilowatt hour. But this is even cheaper. So you even think about like the workflow of using the Circle K chargers, which I do like. I have to go in the app to start the charging. Often just the tap to pay does not work. So this is really pretty slick. So we're starting off here. It was in the 50s and it's quickly climbing to 98, 106. Hoping we can get upwards to the 150s, 160s, but it may not happen. I did precondition, that's why I was using the Ford navigation to get us here. The battery was at about 68 degrees. That was kind of a nightmare. Didn't really care for the Ford navigation. It just, I don't know. This whole thing's kind of disconnected. I use a better route planner because the gasometer is not so good. I love a better route planner for the route planning. I do not like it for the navigation. And then I use Apple Maps for navigation because of traffic and obstacles and speed traps and things like that typically. But then that is super conservative on the charging stops. Also, it does not precondition your battery. Hopefully that is coming like they have for Android. We are back. So when we arrived here, we're at 34%, and that was at 8:37 a.m. It's now 9:01, so it's been 24 minutes, and we're up to 67%. Again, I'm going to go to 80%, and then I'll hit up the Rochester Circle K if needed. A better route planner, if you pay for premium, which is about $50 a year, does have weather factors included in its forecasts. So again, as I'm going back, there is a northwest wind of 12 to 15 miles an hour, which is definitely going to impact range. So that is why they wanted me to charge to 92% here. Keep in mind, beyond 80% really slows down. So we've been floating around 112 kilowatts charging rate for this 24 minutes. It's slower than I'd care for. I would have liked to see it get up to 150, 160, but it's all right. We'll be here for about a half hour and then we'll bug out. And like I said, hit Circle K if needed. Not a big deal in my mind, but we'll get going here shortly. I did charge for 34 minutes to get to 80%. I paid 35 cents a kilowatt hour, and the total cost was $22.11. By the way, I forgot to mention, the way here I was trending at about 270 miles for a full charge, so that's not too bad, but as discussed, it's not going to be nearly that good on the way back because I will be facing a headwind. It does have me stopping at a Circle K on the way home for 6 minutes to go from 36% to 48%. So the anticipated arrival at Rochester Circle K is 36%, 6 minutes to get to 48%, and then I will get to Burnsville at 10. So yeah, let's see how it goes. We'll see how we do compared to 36%. That should be interesting. So right now we're at 210 miles of range on the guessometer. It is 43 degrees outside. And the wind is 12 to 15 miles an hour coming out of the northwest. It's actually up to 17 now, so 17 miles an hour coming out of the northwest. We have arrived at the Circle K charger. I have 36% left, which I think is pretty close to what was predicted. It's pretty wild. So overall on this trip, when I got to La Crosse, I had 1.7 miles per kilowatt hour. It's dropped to 1.3, or I'm sorry, I had 1.7 when we got there. Now I'm down to 1.6, but it's because this last leg for 74.4 miles has been at 1.3 miles per kilowatt hour. It was as low when we were climbing out of La Crosse as like 1.1, 1.2. So this wind is definitely having an impact on our efficiency. You know, this is really no different. I had a 2013 F-150 before this truck. I probably would have been getting 15 miles a gallon instead of 18 or 20 with this wind. So, you know, it affects all vehicles, I guess. So nothing really new there. It's just, I would not have had to have made this stop if it weren't for this wind. So yeah, 6 minutes here. It's supposed to get me back home at 10%. I'll probably go a little bit longer, as I always do, just to make sure I've got some padding in there. But yeah, let's get started. Charging is preparing now. Again, I use the app. This is 43 cents a kilowatt hour. There is a tap to pay terminal on it. I have not tried that. I'll have to do that next time. So I'm curious to see what the performance of this charger will be. My battery temperature is actually 80 degrees. So this should speed up pretty quickly. We're at 96 kilowatts right now. And 141. So there we go. We jumped right up. That's more what I was hoping for when we were at that Ford charger, and unfortunately that did not happen. The total charging time was 10 minutes and 51 seconds. Like I said, I wanted to go over. I received just under 25 kilowatt hours, and the cost was $11.60. So now I'm back up to 110 miles of range at 55%. Again, I think that's based on the horrible wind conditions I'm getting right now. But I have plenty to get home and run some errands as I need. Apologies for such a messy video. I had numerous problems with audio, my microphone battery running out at this point of the trip, so I was talking but nothing was being captured. So anyhow, here we go. Here's the summary. We went 297.8 miles. Overall, we got 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. On the first leg, it was a little bit higher at about 1.7, but that northwest wind really did impact things. Typically, if I would have charged to 80% in La Crosse, I wouldn't have had a problem getting back to Burnsville. As you could see, I had to stop at Circle K and I got a little charge there, but I ended the trip at 46 degrees. So you can see on the screen we had 7% of the charge was used for climate, 89% for driving, 2% for accessories, and 2% for exterior, which I believe is to keep the battery warm. So anyhow, overall, a good trip. I think I charged for like 46 minutes or something like that overall. It would have been less, of course, if I hadn't stopped at Rochester to top off a little bit. And that Ford Charger, for some reason, just never really gets up to speed for me. But like overall, I was fine. It was a good trip. Thanks for following, and we'll catch you on the next drive.